So hi all, it's September the 1st today and it's about 3 in the afternoon I think. I've been driving through Wales all day. It's really beautiful, lots of hillious mountains with mist just going over the peaks of them. I've seen waterfalls, I've seen several ruined castles. I've seen loads of animals, horses, Shetlands, llamas, cows, sheep. Yeah, it's been really lovely. So I've been driving since about 9 o'clock. As I drove into Wales, I looked down at my diesel gauge and saw it was almost empty. Don't know how I missed that. So I had to pull into the next garage that I came to, which luckily was just up the road. But unluckily, it cost £3 60.9 or something per litre, which I think is really expensive. But I have worked out in the last week or so that it costs me about £120-ish to fill my tank up with diesel, and I can do about 500 miles on that. So it's pretty good really. I've done to date, in less than 3 months, 4,400 miles, which is pretty insane, especially considering I do park up sometimes for 2 or 3 days. Yeah. So this video is going to be about what I've learned about my van since I've been living in Sam. Amazing really how little I knew. Some of it's quite amusing, and I'm wondering how I survived this long not knowing anything. But yeah, obviously I know a lot more now, so I thought I would do a little video and just to so as I can look back on it as well later on and just see exactly what I have learned. So I started this morning off driving with a destination that somebody had given me. Somebody I met online, not met in the real world. And I did get to the destination. It was in, I can't remember, Doncaster or something like that, and it was really beautiful, and I did hang around for a few hours, but there were a lot more motorhomes there than I just don't feel very sociable at the moment, which isn't like me. As anyone to tell you, I'll talk to anybody and everybody, but I really feel like being on my own and feeling like a bit of a hermit at the moment. So I've pulled up. I need to look on Google Maps because I don't know where I am. I think I'm on the coast somewhere. There is actually one other van, and there's someone in it, but I'm parked quite away from them. And I can see lots of mountain hills, and there's a public toilet just about 5 minutes up the road, so that's handy. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a little think about what I've learned about my van so far, and I shall come back to you and share if you're interested. So thanks for listening so far. Bye for now. Hi Foxy. He's been out for a run. So the maddest thing I've learned since being on the road, I'll just open my bonnet, is, and this was only learnt this about 2 weeks ago, bear with me, looking for my battery. So it's under my bonnet. I've got, you know, where the oil goes, water, wind wiper fluid. It's my engine, it's all great. Where's my battery? There's no battery. It don't matter where I looked, there's no battery. So got my manual out, speaking to some other vanners, and it turns out, which was just crazy to me because I thought all batteries were under the bonnet, is that my battery's down here where Foxy's water bowl is. So if I get a flat battery or need to get my battery out, I need to unscrew these, and this is where my battery is, between my driver's seat and the passenger seat, which is just bizarre to me. So I've learnt that. The next thing, or probably the very first thing that I learnt, so this is my solar panel reading. I've got a 12-volt cigarette lighter, and I've got 2 USB ports here. And I think it was the second day I got the van, I'd already ordered an inverter from Amazon, a 400 watt Bestwick, and didn't actually know what an inverter was, but anyway, so it come with a cigarette lighter and some crocodile clips. So I plugged it in to my USB here, my 12 volt cigarette lighter, and it charged my laptop, which I thought was fantastic. And then I thought I would use my food blender on it. Now I knew that I had to get a low voltage food blender, so I didn't use the one that I use in the house. I'd ordered one from Amazon, which was a 300 watt food blender to do things like grind up my nuts, my dates and cacao, so I can make my protein balls and things. So plugged that in, and it did work for a few seconds, and then it blew the fuse. But that was okay, because the girls had already said to me, get a box of fuses, which I did. So I'd already ordered my lovely box of fuses from Amazon, all in pretty colours, all colour coded for each amp. My fuse box, I knew for my back of the van, is in here. So there's the, if you can see, box in the way. So there's the USB fuse here, which I'd blown. So I took it out, just literally take this little box off somehow, like a little clip. Okay, so I can't get it off with one hand, but anyway, so you just, it comes off, you can pull the fuse out and put a new one back in. So I did pull the fuse out, and that was my first problem, because I realised that the fuse that I'd pulled out, where are they, was a wide fuse, whereas these are mini fuses. So I just thought fuses were fuses. I didn't know they came in several different sizes. So I did a lot more research on Google, on YouTube, and I was thinking, can I put a mini fuse in my fuse box? But thought best not to try it. Nobody on YouTube was saying you can't do it. Nobody was saying you can do it. So in the end, I took my van to Halfords, and he showed me and told me that, yeah, you have to put the proper size in. So good job that I didn't. It wouldn't have worked. I don't know if it'd have blown it or not. But I also realised I had, back up again, blown my cigarette lighter in the front of the van, and I needed that for my sat nav. So I got my manual out, saw the fuse box picture, which looked great. It's about 20 different fuses. So literally just unscrew this, turn this little knob, and there's some fuses here. And then there's this picture, and I was thinking, well, these fuses don't look like this picture. I don't understand what's going on. So back to Halfords again. And the bloke said to me, yeah, they're your spares, and there's your fuse box there. So there's all my fuses. So you literally just, if a fuse blows, you know, for my lights or my hooter or my wipers or whatever, it's all coded here. So I know which fuse is which. And you just pull the fuse out and you put a new one in. So actually, there's one here, look. This is the size of my fuses. So yeah, so there's about 5 different sizes, and you have to see which size you need. So yeah, so I learned how to do fuses. That's quite cool. I thought that'd be really complicated. Actually, not at all. Hey Fox. So the other thing I learned quite quickly was, so I've got an LPG tank, and it's just like a petrol tank really, except it's a screw. So you have to, so you go, some garages do LPG, you have to go to the garage, you get a nozzle, there's all instructions, you put the nozzle in the hole, twist it, then you have to stand back, you have to press a button, and the pressure kind of knocks you back a little bit, and it will stop filling, just like it does, you know, when you put diesel or petrol in, it will stop filling when it's full. So the first time I went to fill up with LPG, only cost a couple of quid. I asked the cashier if he'd do it for me, and he did. Thank you to the cashier at the petrol station. And the second time I asked the cashier again, she said we're not allowed legally to do it. So I asked all of the customers as they came into the garage if they would, a beautiful scenery. I don't know if you can see it, but there is actually a castle there. Look at that. Okay, so getting sidetracked. Yeah, so in the end, a lorry driver said he'd help me put the LPG in. I don't know why I didn't do it myself. I think it was more the fear of it than the actual doing it. So me and the lorry driver learned together how to put LPG in. And since then, I've done LPG. So the other thing, which is quite amusing, so on my van it says here, TP55. And at the front here it says TP50, and I've been thinking, you know, I wonder what the pressure is in the tyres, you know, I've been keeping an eye on them, do they look okay? Didn't know that TP stood for anything. I just thought it were leftover letters from when the van used to be a fire engine, because there is still writing on the van from when it was a fire engine. If you can see, so like we've got the www.dorsetfire.gov.uk, and on my bonnet it's up at the moment, but it does say fire on it. So anyway, yeah, it took me ages to finally click. I was sitting around talking to some other vanners, talking about the tyre pressure, how much air do you think needs to go in my tyres. I'd looked in my manual, but obviously it's a manual that just covers all Reynolds Masters and not just this one in particular. Couldn't work it out. Someone said to me, yeah, the TP55 is the tyre pressure, is how much air you need to put in your tyres. So of course TP stands for tyre pressure. It's literally written, but it's about 5 or 6 weeks before I realised that. So now I know 50 in the front and 55 in the back. So what else have I learned? It's all pretty basic stuff, really. When things go wrong, I get to learn about my van, because the girls converted it, obviously, so I only know what I'm learning as I go along. Knew nothing at all. So in here is my water tanks, and my water started leaking. So I don't know if you can see. There's two tubes, one going into the water and one that's not in use at all, so it had been sealed up. And I had water leaking, and after, you know, went on, and then after about 5 days it was gushing out. Luckily I was with some other vanners at the time. They had a look at it for me and they showed me how the sealant had come undone on that tube. I don't think there needs to be 2 tubes, but that's the way it's been done. I'm sure there was a reason for it. So the other van have sealed it up for me. So I learned a little bit more about my van, about my water tanks. Bits of wood have fallen off. Like when I shut this door, I have to really slam it. And from slamming it, some of this wood up here had literally fallen off. I probably could have fixed it myself, but never really fixed anything before. So luckily for me, the father of my boys is a carpenter, so I took the van to him and he put the fallen bits of wood off for me. Also, when I was driving, the weight of the water was pushing this cupboard open, so I was driving and the water was coming out. So he also put this little catch on for me to keep that door from flying open. So yeah, I've learned to build a fire now. I've not had to use it. It's still really mild, but I can build one now. So just build like a little pyramid. I don't know what's going on in there at the moment. Is it clean? Yeah, it's pretty clean in there. Big lump of firewood I have down here. I've got more in the boot, and I've got my kindling. So yeah, I can light a fire, so I've learnt to do that. What else? So yeah, this drawer, which I've got rammed, it's got cups, cutlery, it's a mess. Hammer, kitchen foil, pestle and mortar, string, an old lime. So yeah, it's quite a heavy drawer really. I need to clean it out, and the runner on it broke, so I was on my own one evening and it wouldn't shut. It was like that was as far as it would go. I was quite stressed and I was thinking, I don't want to ask anyone to help me. I need to learn to do this myself. So I took it out, took the drawer, after stressing for hours, I took the drawer out, took it all apart, put it all back together again, and sprayed some WD-40 on it, and it just shut. So I fixed something. It's still quite heavy, there's quite a lot of stuff in there, so when I'm driving, this is actually just gaffer tape that I use to stop the drawer coming open, so I need to lighten the drawer and probably get a little catch to put on there. So I mean, it's good when things go wrong because it means I get to learn about the van. Like, I don't know much of what's going on in this area under the wood. So, and as I've said to you before, the toilet, the oven and the fridge I want to move around. So the fridge is run, it's a three-way fridge, a 12 volt, gas and electric when it's hooked up. The 12 volt isn't connected and the gas isn't working. So basically I don't ever hook up. I only did a couple of times in the beginning. So basically the fridge isn't working. I am still using it and I probably need to get it fixed, but I want to change it all around anyway. My jars have all still lasted. They don't look like they're coming down anytime soon. So you're probably not going to learn much from watching this video. This is just what I've learned. My drawers are quite stiff. So today I'm going to empty all my drawers out and only put in them what I need. They're rammed full of things. Let's have a think. What else I may have learned? Hi, Fox. Say hi. Yeah, so I've learnt about so my solar panel 150 watt is up there and it's connected to my leisure battery, which is completely different to my engine van battery. I don't know. Oh, it says on there 115 amp 12 volt. Anyway, yeah, all I know is that the solar panel powers up my leisure battery then powers up my lights, my water pump, my USBs here. It'll be interesting to see. So that's my solar panel reading, how it works in the winter when I haven't got much sunlight. So we shall see. Someone has said to me about getting like a split, can't even remember what it's called, something, so as my leisure battery and my engine battery are connected, but I don't know about that. I don't know if it's necessary. Winter's going to be a testing time. So learning about my inverter and connecting it up to, so I take these clips off and I can connect my inverter crocodile clips up, and then them green lights mean it's all working okay and it's all connected. So just a quick conclusion to what I've learned about my van so far. So the LPG tank, which stands for liquid petroleum gas, I believe, is different from like the Cala gas cylinders that you normally get, but the only thing I've got running off of that now is my oven. I've spoke to a few people that have said I can convert my van, so as I'm using LPG as fuel, and that's something really worth looking into. Might be a good investment for me, especially considering the amount of miles that I do. So it will definitely be cheaper, and I'd still have my diesel as a backup. Yeah, so the other thing I wanted to just share with you quickly, this is my inverter. It's a Bestwick, it's a 400 watt. It does come with a 12 volt cigarette attachment, but I just use the crocodile clips. So I take the crocodile clips off of my leisure battery and I attach my inverter crocodile clips. It has a plug socket, so I just charge things like my laptop, my electric toothbrush. I've used it to charge friends' batteries for their radios. I've used it to blow up several airbeds, and it works for me. I have met people that have got, like I met a woman a few weeks ago that's got a 3,000 watt inverter. It was massive, really powerful. Not sure if it's necessary to have that much power. You can get all different powers. You know, you can get 1,000 watt, you can get 500, whatever. But my 400 does me. Of course, winter will be a testing time to see if I've got enough power. Will I need a split charger to connect my leisure and engine battery? Who knows? Will I need a more powerful inverter? I don't know. So yeah, so we shall see. Feel like I've got everything I need. I'm quite a basic person anyway. I can't think what else I would need power for, to be fair. Yeah, so that's it. I will close up now. I'm going to go off driving. I will probably upload this while I'm driving, so not sure you've learnt anything, but I've learnt loads and no doubt still have loads more to learn. So thanks for watching so far. Have a great day. See you all later.